Coming off of one of the more impressive wins of the season for the Bend Elks, they'll look to build off of it tonight against the Ridgefield Raptors. And before we get started, we'll head onto the field for an incredible national anthem from Tristan Marshall.
Guitar. Please welcome Tristan Marshall. Here to throw out tonight's first pitch is Jesse Fico.
Oh man, Tristan Marshall, the red, white, and blue coursing through my veins now. How about that for a national anthem? Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Aiden O'Neill, as always, coming off a big night. Elks get it done against the Ridgefield Raptors, 9-2 the final. And that was against the Ridgefield Raptors, a team that is the #1 team in the West Coast League. Came into tonight 8-1 away from home. The Elks were simply dominant from start to finish, and the inning that stood out was the 4-run seventh that got everything going. The offense, as steady as ever, timely hitting was the story. Started with Jace Miller, lacing a single into left field that was down for a base hit. Continued to move the line to Richie Klosik later in the frame, dunking that one in, or that was rather Jordan Ortiz first on the bloop single. Then it loaded the bases for Klosik, who just flipped the ball on the left. He didn't hit the ball particularly hard, but it was enough as it got down for a base hit, brought in a pair of runners. And then later in the frame, the Elks have had this happen to them before. A ball getting lost in the dusk where two outfielders simply can't see it in this Central Oregon night sky. And both Hearn and Blaylock looked up to the heavens hopelessly. It fell in for Salvione, and it was just that sort of night. The Elks simply got everything to go their way from start to finish. But you win one, that's cool. The reality is you're still 7-12, and you got to build off of that, especially tonight against the Ridgefield Raptors. And they'll send Trevor Kaiser, the tall righty out of Oregon State, to the mound, coming off of a rocky start against Yakima a week ago, where he'll look to bounce back. You see the orange glove. You shy away from those numbers, look away. We know Trevor Kaiser's better than that, but that's where we stand after just one out in a 6.2 ERA and a 6.6 whip. Somehow, some way, if you believe it, the Bend Elks in that game, they won. 15-13 the final. They had 10 hits. They left 14 runners on base. This was on the 17th of June. But the late rally was spectacular. They had 6 runs in the 9th inning. It made Trevor Kaiser's tough start forgotten. And will have to go up against the best lineup in the West Coast League, and it reads like this. Luna, Tomataka, Summers, Wattis. That's the same start of the order that we saw yesterday. Then Lightgib, Hearn, Nagler, Rico, and Poffenroth. These unis are awfully similar tonight. We're going dark on dark gray versus black, but still closer than you usually see with the Elks in their all-black pinstripes. First pitch of the ball game misses outside. We get started at 6:38, same time as yesterday. I'm still thinking about that Tristan Marshall national anthem. That was electric. We're used to seeing the singing version, but the electric guitar almost cooler, as the first at-bat results in a Carson Luna single. Just flipped it into center, and that's how this ball game gets started. Take a look at the Elks defense tonight. Sisidko, Nato, and Elrod starting in right field. Jones, Goodman, Sanders, Beck around the horn. Nate Snakenborg doing the catching. First look at Elrod this series, same with Jones and Beck. But a deep roster for these Elks that could do a whole lot of damage as Tomataka fouls it back. Ken Tomataka, 300 average, 15 driven in, and a 781 OPS. He was in the lineup last night, was just 1 for 5. Kaiser's 0-1, misses up at 88. For these Elks, any ounce of momentum that you can build off of from yesterday is a good thing. A 9-2 win over a team as good as Ridgefield is one you won't forget. I mean, you now got to harness it, right? I mean, winning one game is amazing. But with all the series losses this year, a series win against a team this good would go a long way. 1-1's flipped down the left field line and foul. Oh, man, by maybe a foot. As the Ridgefield Raptors coach cannot believe it. Sidko was running after it. I don't know. It's either foul by a few inches or on the line based on the replay. I could see either team having a strong argument with that. Grounded softly to the second baseman. Sanders goes to second for one. Throw to first. Not in time, but a good job by Troy to get that sure out at second. 4-6 on the fielder's choice, bringing up JT Summers. It was just not hit hard enough. Sanders had no chance, even with the strong arm of Goodman. Tomataka runs well. Now it's JT Summers. Summers opened up the eyes of all these Elks fans last night in his first at-bat. Takeaway. Truly a big-time talent. You could already tell by just the way that he goes about his business. Was just 1 for 4 last night, but the double in the first, one hopped the wall in center field. Chop that foul. Back with a dive at first is Ken Tomataka. Tomataka with some speed over there. 4 bags on the summer, so he is a threat to go. That's chopped. Softly, Jones coming in at third. Throw to first on one hop and a smooth pick by Cam Beck. Moving up to second's Tomataka, but there's 2 gone. Jones can really move all over the infield, but tonight at third, and saw Cam Beck a couple of days ago working with the Elks infield coach, David Diaz. And on the back end, that paying off on the one-hop dig. That's a position that just can't be overlooked when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. You got a good defensive first baseman, your infield drastically improves. Zach Wattis will take down and in. Wattis, the best hitter on the Ridgefield Raptors. And there's an argument that he's the best in the entire West Coast League. Second in home runs with 5, 22 runs driven in, and a .671 slugging percentage as he takes a moment to tie that shoe. Yesterday, he was just dunking singles in left and right, it felt like. Wasn't hitting any balls particularly hard, but still had a 2-hit night and reached 3 times. Kaiser's fastball misses down and in. Trevor Kaiser, formerly a two-way guy, played all over the field. 6'5", 220 from West Richland, Washington. Bounded foul down the first base line. Just one game with Oregon State, but still super young and finding his way. Zach Wattis on the other side, fully in the loop when it comes to at LMU. Had 194 at-bats this last season. Grounded foul. But none of which, no numbers, jumped out like this summer has. A .216 average, 10 homers, 34 driven in. Guy to watch out for as he moves forward. Kaiser peek back at 2. 2-2. This is up and in. Some off-speed cutting action. You've got the open base at first. And I think it might be wise in this case to use it with Brock Lightgib on deck. Misses up, ball 4. Really don't think that's a bad decision at all. Bringing up Brock Lightgib. It's almost like an old baseball haiku. If you have the open base against a really good bat, why pitch to him? Oh, 1. Misses away. Lightgib, 6 feet tall, 197 pounds from Michigan. And I'll tell you what, this Ridgefield Raptors team from a pure talent perspective is absolutely outstanding. The amount of Power 4 schools that you see on this roster is quite ridiculous. And after Cowlitz disbanded as a corporation, Ridgefield now is getting all those guys. Spot here for Kaiser to escape unscathed. 1-2 grounded foul. Staying alive is Lightgib. Had a tough campaign with the Wolverines, Brock Lightgib did. Just 0 for 8 with 5 Ks, couple of double plays he grounded into, but a tough program to crack when it comes to consistent playing time. Kaiser got him swinging. Down and away on the off speed. And his first K of the night comes in a good spot. A 0 for the Elks in the first. Started with the Sanders, flipped to Goodman. Didn't have time on the back end to get Tomataka. But still a big first out. And then just, I guess, the inning of the fielder's choice. Kaiser came home to Summers, who grounded one to Braden Jones. Throw out to go to first. Great dig by Cam Beck, staying low on the one hopper. And then to end the frame, in a battle with Brock Lightgib, goes down and away on the breaking ball, swung right over the top. And Trevor Kaiser with a positive start to this outing as we roll on to the bottom of the first. Elks get a 0 in the top of the first. Now they're coming up against the southpaw, Tyler Walker. Dimitri Sisidko digs in, who is now a staple at the top of this order. What a story it's been coming from Saddleback College, now committed to Coppin State, and not one of the more highly touted guys coming in. But now, the best hitter on the Bend Elks. A good chunk of the season already passed, and he still has that right. Tyler Walker, the lefty, a 7.2 ERA with a 1 whip. Standing at 6'6", 230 pounds. I mean, what are they feeding them in Vancouver, Washington? There has been 3 pitchers in the last 2 days, 6'6" or taller on the Raptors. Unbelievable. 2-1. Swung on and missed. Sisidko still batting a whopping .426, which is absolutely bonkers just a year after Jace Miller won the batting title for the Elks. He's in the league lead once again. And to have that happen to an Elk in back-to-back years, especially a guy like Sisidko that really came out of nowhere, would be a remarkable storyline. Sisidko, then Elrod and Ortega. Walker's payoff. Got him swinging as Sisidko chased. Mention Elrod and Ortega, but the rest of the Elks lineup will go like this. Cam Beck, Keaton Nato, Nate Snakenborg, then Will Goodman, Troy Sanders, and Braden Jones. Rounding out the lineup. Group that hopes they turned a corner in last night's game. Some new faces tonight, including Mason Elrod. 4 runs batted in, only a .503 OPS, may be deceiving because Elrod, who was nursing a wrist injury, is now feeling a lot better and is absolutely turning a corner when it comes to his play on the field. Take a strike. Elrod from Rollins University. Private school in Orlando, Florida, and from Miramar. So has stayed in that state, and it means so much to him when he reflects on his baseball journey. Take a strike there. His buddy's gone now, though. Aiden Tallarico, no longer a Bend Elk, is getting ready to make the leap to hopefully the Power 4 level. Still talking to a lot of schools, hoping to commit sometime soon. So I'm sure, Elrod, that's an adjustment. You go from being teammates with Aiden Tallarico at USC Union, being best buddies, both of them were All-Americans. Then that relationship maybe separates for a little bit, but reunited in Bend. It was super cool. Elrod fouls it away. And a long walk out of the box because he knows he just missed one. That was 88 middle in. Pink bat for Elrod, the blue handle. All the colors. Just away. And I mean by a hair. That could have gone Walker's way easily. On our end, it caught the black at 90. Gutsy take for Elrod pays off. Full count. Grounded to the second baseman. Throw to first in time. That's Jace Nagler, the former Bend Elk. And with that, we'll take a look at the Ridgefield Raptors defense for tonight. Poffenroth, Hearn, Wattis, Tomataka, Luna, Nagler, the former Bend Elk, Summers, and Rico. Seeing Jace Nagler out there at second just reminds me of one of the best plays I've seen live in a baseball game. A summer ago when Jace was at second, he dove to his left and essentially, facing the outfield, flipped it to the second baseman to start a double play. The defense was always there for Jace as an Elk. And this year at Eastern Oregon, the bat has started to come along for a ride, which is really cool. This is Noble Ortega, who was in the lineup last night and came through with a big swing in the fifth. Helped catapult in the Elks' offensive effort. Almost down on 3 pitches. Walking off the mound was Walker, but it was off the plate. Ortega in the portal, hailing from Fresno. Foul tipped on the 1-2, and oh no. Dunbar got it off the mask and appeared to come off and come up maybe a bit nauseous. That's not good at all. Only in the first inning. Let's take a look. I think Ortega just fouled it straight back maybe into the mask. Oh, that is like getting punched in the face. Right in between the eyes. Hope that Dunbar's okay. We'll check on him as this game goes along. Good take by Ortega. 2-2. Noble, a two-way guy. Just in the lineup tonight, but one of the more used Elk relievers in the bullpen. Can't ever rule anything out when it comes to him. Nice job here from 0-2 to 3-2, working his way back into this count. Left on left with Walker, the payoff. Fouled away. He will not go down ever without a fight. Keeps it going. Another souvenir for these Elks. Good to see Noble Ortega back in the lineup after the ejection a couple of nights ago that resulted in a 1-game suspension. 21 pitches for Walker already. Working hard this frame. Ortega bounds that to the glove of Nagler. So smooth. His throw to first in time as Beck, or Summers rather, barely kept his foot on the pace. No rod. A lot of action for Jace Nagler, the former Bend Elk in this frame. Elrod hit a hard one to him, and then more Nagler. Go in on the backhand, throw to first on the money. We'll go to the second, no score on Bend Elks YouTube. Rolling on to the second inning here at Vince Genna Stadium. And you see it there, the mascot of Mount Bachelor. Tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Mount Bachelor. Summer operations and Mount Bachelor kickoff on Thursday, June 25th. So make sure to have some summer fun there today. First pitch to Hearn is sky to right center field. And Keaton Nadeau, slick, like a bandit, taking one away. I mean, that would have been a double in the alleyway, and a good job by Keaton getting over. Nagler takes a strike. If Jace is wondering who picked me to be K-Man tonight in my return to Bend, it's me. I did. I think it'd be fun. I love Jace. It's nothing personal. He also doesn't strike out a lot as he gets a base hit. There's two ways a guy can take a K-Man. It's shrivel in the moment or live up to it. Good start for Jace. Bringing up Bo Rico. First look at Bo Rico this series. Didn't get the start in the opening night. Kaiser works home on a fastball. Called a strike. Jace Nagler has got some speed out there at first as well. No stolen bases so far this summer, but will run. Big secondary on the 0-1, but misses down and in. Been much more encouraging so far for Trevor Kaiser. Pounding the zone at a high clip and staying on the corners. Throw over to check on Nagler, back with a dive. Bo Rico, the backstop from Visalia, California. Goes to Fresno State. Just $1.62 this summer at the dish. Nagler goes. Fastball misses up. Throw down to second from Snakenborg on one hop. They got him. The pick by Will Goodman on the back end. Perfection. Nagler didn't even get a bad jump. Look at the throw and tag, though. Goodman is as steady as ever at short. My goodness. Impressed every day by both of those. Grounded to second. Great inning by Trevor Kaiser. Just moments ago, Jace Nagler had the leadoff single, or a single with one out. And then Nate Snakenborg throws him out at second. A one-hop pearl. Tagged by Goodman. Equally, maybe even more impressive. And then to end the frame, a ground out to Troy Sanders by the catcher in Bo Rico. We'll go to the bottom of the second when we return on Bend Elks YouTube. Bottom of the second inning. Cam Beck to lead it off for the Elks. No score here at Vince Genna Stadium on a cloudy Wednesday evening. As Beck has himself a knock. A C&I ground ball. Right back up the middle. And a good start for the Elks in this frame. Bringing up Keaton Nadeau. Nadeau a 741 OPS, 4 runs batted in. Just made that incredible play in center field and now gets rewarded with an AB. Rounds it softly though to Luna at short. Goes to second for one, throw to first, not in time. Speed by Keaton keeps him out of the double play, just the 6'4 fielder's choice. Got caught up on a fastball in on the hands and just rolled it over. They did everything right. Nadeau just too fast. With one out, it's Nate Snakenborg. Throw over to check on Nadeau, who's back safely. Keaton Nadeau, the most prolific base stealer on the Bend Elks. He leads the team with 7. Fastball, grounded to the third baseman, Tomataka to second for one, throw to first, offline, in time. JT Summers kept his foot on the bag. I couldn't tell from this angle if he did. But an unfortunate rally killer in the second. Nadeau here in on those hands to second for one, the throw to first. Not in time there. And then another ground ball. Tomataka, Nagler, Summers. I think he might have. He had that plant foot strong out there at first. Regardless, that's the call. We'll go to the third. No score on Bend Elks YouTube. Genna Stadium on a Wednesday night. Does get better than this. Third inning, no score. And the fans have showed out per usual. Every single night. I'd guess tonight's attendance is above what yesterday's was. Yesterday's just a little bit over 1,000. My guess, if I was putting it in the hat, we'll go 1231. But with cloud cover, a gorgeous night for some baseball. This is Gavin Poffenroth, who will flare a ball into shallow left center field, has some more carry, and Sisitko catches it. It ended up being 93 off the bat. It didn't look like it on the initial contact point. Job by Trevor Kaiser being efficient. You want to talk about efficiency. The Elks' last frame, it was a 3-pitch inning. It was an unconventional 3-pitch inning with a single, a fielder's choice, and then a double play. But still, no hard work done by Tyler Walker. Kaiser misses away. Now the top of the order again with Carson Luna. See the shade now here in the broadcast booth. Kaiser looking home on the 1-0. Fastball popped up, shallow right field. Elrod moving over. So is Beck, but it falls foul. But 3 pitches. The approach at times has gotten the Elks in some trouble, so they'll hope to right the ship in the next frame. Carson Luna, his first time, singled into left field and got things going for the Raptors. Kaiser just working out of the stretch. His breaking ball misses up. Another Michigan man is Carson Luna. From Houston, Texas, entering his redshirt sophomore campaign next year. Played a lot as a redshirt freshman, all things considered, for the Wolverines. Stakes and type. 33 games, started 15. Just a 209 average, though. But highly touted at St. John's High School in Texas and has been Power 4 ever since. Fouled it away, 3-2. Just like all Texas boys when it comes to outstanding play. Usually they go to the school in state of Texas Tech, Texas Christian University. That's where Luna started and then made his way to Michigan. 3-2, misses high, ball 4. Second walk of the night for Trevor Kaiser. Here a fan yell, no walks. That's the only way the Elks pitching staff has gotten in trouble. You look back to last night when they only gave up 2 runs. The reason for it? A lack of free passes. It's no secret. And Tomataka, the hitter now with 1 gone in the 3rd. Fills up the zone on the fastball. Tomataka rolled over his first time through on the fielder's choice. Kaiser misses away. Second team that Trevor Kaiser's pitched on in the West Coast League was with the Yakima Valley Pippins last year. From that region, being from West Richland. So pretty full circle for his first start with the Elks to be against the Pippins. And now gets to settle in at home at Genna. Ahead 1-2 on Tomataka. Got him swinging down and away. Trevor Kaiser goes back to that filthy off speed that got Brock Lightgib earlier. This time gets Tomataka. Here's JT Summers. Take a breaking ball for a strike. Tall physical frame of Summers. Mano-y-mano with Trevor Kaiser. He'll chop one to Goodman on a high hop. Throw to first, got him. And that will end the inning. A pitcher's duel here at Vince Genna Stadium. And Trevor Kaiser doing his thing. See the final play of the frame. Throw by Goodman. That's who you wanted hit to if you were to pick any player on the field. All 7 besides the pitcher and catcher. I want Will Goodman. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Six batters up and 6 down for the Elks so far tonight. 7, 8, 9 due up, starting with Will Goodman against the lefty Tyler Walker, who will take away. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, Aiden O'Neill up here in the broadcast booth. Bottom of the 3rd inning. And it's been a pitcher's duel. Kaiser and Walker going toe-to-toe. Goodman takes up 2 balls and no strikes. Although the Elks haven't literally gone down in order because Cam Beck had a single. With the double play last inning, Walker's faced the minimum. That just missed up. Very well could have been called a strike. Probably should have. Walker just joined the team a couple of weeks ago. Now fully engrossed in Ridgefield. As that one missed low, but probably a makeup call for the last one. The count is what it should be, 3-1. Ball 4. The first free pass of the night for Will Goodman. Second straight frame, the Elks have a leadoff base runner. It's Troy Sanders stepping up to the dish. Recently committed to Bethune-Cookman in Florida. Congrats to Troy. Caught up with him a couple of nights ago and really excited for the new opportunity. Said when he was looking in the portal, 2 things he was looking for, either California or Florida, and he ends up residing in the Sunshine State. Sanders rips one off Johnny Kemp at third. Johnny Kemp's eyes are in. Sees the pitch come. Oh, man. They got Goodman picked off. Throw to second's high. Goodman safe. Goodman was going on first move. You're taught you just got to keep going in that situation. And Summers has the high throw, which allows Goodman to be there safely. Giving Sanders an RBI op. Throw over to second. They're really worried about Goodman, and no one was covering. I'm still thinking about the Johnny Kemp line drive. Thankfully, it was only 81 off the bat. Imagine that thing was really smoked. I wonder if he's feeling it right now. He's trying to hide the pain. Sanders grounds one into left and through for a base hit. Goodman gets the stop at third. But a hard hit, 104-mile-per-hour single for Sanders. Runners on the corners with nobody out. And time is now called. I mean, that ball was hammered. Mound visit here. Chatting with Tyler Walker is pitching coach Tyler Jackson, the Eastern Oregon assistant. 33 pitches, 2 innings, 1 K, 1 walk. And this is the first frame where the Elks are starting to piece things together. Okay. Take a look around the West Coast League while we have a moment. Nanaimo on top of Victoria, 4-1 bottom 3. Kelowna down to Kamloops, 1-0. Corvallis is playing a non-league game, 1-0 the score there. Yakima and Wenatchee tied at 0-0. 2-1 Bells. They won, 17-0 yesterday? So more of a low-scoring game. Drifters on top of the Sweets. We're tied here. We're tied in Portland on this Wednesday, June the 24th. This is Braden Jones, who pops up the first pitch he sees. Foul territory. Tomataka near the dugout, and the wind continued to push it, where he wasn't able to make the catch. A break caught by Braden Jones. Johnny Kemp's arm is still loose at least. You hope that that compression shirt, you wear compression for a reason, maybe soften the blow. 0-1 left on left to Jonesy, who takes high. Braden Jones, a 2.06 batting average, and he's knocked in 3 runs. In the portal, hailing from Tacoma Community College. Rounds that softly past first base coach David Diaz. And a jog down to grab it by, I think, Alex Figueroa. Any ball in the outfield does the trick here. Walker's 1-2. Got him, swinging. Goodman chased. The second K for Walker. I mean, he was way out in front. Completely fooled by the off speed at 77. This is the guy you want up, though. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. Dmitry Sisidko. Walker fires a fastball that misses down and in. Sisidko punched out his first time through, but you can't hold him down forever. And what makes him good for this spot, extremely good at putting the ball in play. Fastball called the strike. There was a moment earlier this year where Dmitry Sisidko didn't strike out for a lot of this season. And now, still only 4 strikeouts in 47 at-bats. Pretty incredible statistic. You look at him in a moment like this, and now you got Sanders picked off. Everybody's safe. The objective there by Carson Luna was to make sure that Will Goodman didn't score. That's good baseball rather than throwing it to first, allowing for Goodman to waltz in. You see it there. He just walked him back. Didn't want to make that throw and risk it. 1-1 to Dimitri. Misses down and in. Infield staying back. Luna and Nagler looking to turn 2 up the middle. Chopped softly to Tomataka. Only play is to first, and Goodman scores. The Elks have a 1-0 lead on the fielder's choice. Just a high chopper. Make that Dimitri's 7th run batted in this summer. That's tied for second on the team. Elks strike first for the 2nd straight night. Mason Elrod looking to add on. Take a fastball low. Sanders now out there at second. Elrod grounds one softly, back up the middle. Tough play for Luna, no play for Luna. Throws to third, trying to backpick Sanders. And a good defensive play to keep that in the infield. But a single for Mason Elrod. That's all Luna could do. The best was glove that ball. Sanders had to scurry back. It's Nobel Ortega. Pop it foul and out of play. The leadoff walk usually comes around to score in baseball. And to start this frame, Will Goodman was walked, resulted in the first run of the night for the Bend Elks. 1-1 to Noble. 0 for 1 tonight, but this coaching staff really coming around with the idea of playing Noble Ortega consistently at DH, because that bat has been as steady as anybody on the team. Ground this one softly to the first baseman in Summers. Foot race with Ortega that's won by JT. And will end the third. But a third inning that was a good one for these Elks. You take the 1-0 lead, you get a couple of knocks. And Goodman, if you remember, was almost picked off. That run would have never come into score, but kept running. The throw was high from Summers. Then Sanders scorched a ball into left field at 104, setting up runners on the corners. And what does Dmitry Sisitko do? He puts the ball in play better than most. Brought in Goodman. Elrod grounded one up the middle. Luna stopped Sanders from scoring. And then Noble Ortega dribbled one to first. To the fourth, Trevor Kaiser still rolling along. It's 1-0 Bend. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth on a lovely night from Vince Genna Stadium. I'm Aiden O'Neill. Thanks for joining us. Elks on top 1-0. And Trevor Kaiser, coming off of a bumpy first outing, is looking to bounce back tonight. The former Yakima Valley Pippin a year ago, now in Bend. This start has been much more encouraging, especially when it comes to staying on the corners. Wadas, Lightgib, and Hearn this inning, 4, 5, and 6. Wadas, the most dangerous of the bunch. Big swing and a miss. Was hunting the fastball and was well out in front when he was mistaken on the off speed. Cat had a swing. It was damaging. Three balls and one strike. Three ones popped up, foul and out of play. That first outing for Trevor Kaiser, despite the Elks storyline all season long being the pitching staff getting in trouble by walking a lot of batters, giving up free passes defensively. Kaiser only walked 2 guys in that outing. He was just hit around by a good Yakima bunch. And so far tonight, also staying in the zone. That's on me. Ball 4. The third walk of the night for Trevor Kaiser. And a leadoff one. Last inning, bottom of the third. Will Goodman walked to start off the frame, came around to score. So not a habit you want to get into. Brock Lightgib take a fastball away. Like it, punched out in his first AB. Swings and misses at the off speed there. In these tight games, the Elks' weaknesses are being tested when it comes to the defense and the strike throwing, staying consistent. Throw back over to check on Wadas, who's back with the dive. He's walked twice, and these Elks wisely not pitching to him. He really does have all 5 tools, though, leading the team in stolen bases somehow with 9. 2-1 to Lightgib. You want to stay in the zone in a moment like this. Two one, groove down the middle for a strike at 86. Brock Lightgib, the Portland, Oregon native. So Vancouver, not too far from home. Went to Jesuit High School. And his brother played baseball at Washington, so some lineage in the family. Taps that foul. Do it again. Elks last night expended a lot of their bullpen. It felt like they threw out all of their top dogs. No Jared Robles, who's been a guy they've leaned on, but Ortega, Figueroa, Lovesy's been a dude for them. Two. Stays alive. Almost sounded like the bat broke there. And we're back with the stick tonight. I think that might be Diego Lovesy today. Jackson Kendall watching along from the bench. But I think he owns the stick. Who's the stick owner? Off the plate by a hair. Snake and board couldn't bring it back. Full count. Some big pitches coming up in this frame, including the one right here. Full count. And he walked another. Back-to-back walks to start this inning for the Elks. Have put him in some trouble, especially with Isaiah Hearn stepping up to the plate. Time is now called by Wes Harper, a good time to do so. First year back as pitching coach is Wes, former Division I college pitcher, Boise State, Sac State, did the thing and now doing the coaching. Accompanied by the entire infield to take a look at Kaiser's out-in. Those walks, 4 walks to just 2 strikeouts. Something that may be more common when it comes to the youths is not staying in the strike zone. Inability to throw strikes from time to time would drive an old-timer crazy a little bit. But the stuff from Kaiser is there. Hearn squares to bunt. And can't get it down. How about that? Isaiah Hearn, who is one of the better hitters on this team, is still squaring around to bunt. His Bend Elks bat boy 1-0. He has some competition tonight. That is refreshing. I don't remember the last game where that happened, but that battle sometimes is more entertaining than the game on the field. Not tonight, though. We got a good one. Hearn doesn't square this time around, takes high. But to have a guy like Isaiah Hearn, who's a highly touted prospect, perfect 10 out of 10 on perfect game, committed to Oregon, laying down a bunt in summer collegiate baseball, that's really cool. But he's hitting away now, and he'll pop it up. Foul territory and a souvenir as Braden Jones just gives it a look. Sun now beaming through the clouds. It's been a heavy clouded day. You know, Bend, the weather sways like somebody's emotions. Gorgeous to cloudy. Maybe we're getting thunderstorms. Nope, sun's back. Grounded into right and through for a base hit. Getting the stop at third is Wattis, and it goes by Mason Elrod. Wattis scores. Up to third is Lightgib, and the error ties the game. Look down at the scorebook, and it just goes under the glove of Elrod. That's a costly, costly error in that spot, because it sets it up for Ridgefield. Yes, the bases would have been loaded with no outs, but now a run in. And the infield is forced to come in for tonight's K-man, Jace Nagler. Take down and away for a ball. Nagler tonight, a single in the second inning. Doesn't punch out often, but the courtesy that had to be done for the former Bend Elk. There's one. Nagler's been around the West Coast League. Cowlitz, Victoria, Bend, Ridgefield. This is probably now the best version of himself. 1-2.
Strikes on the K-man. Make some noise if you want some cheap beer.
All right. You hear the crowd getting into it for tonight's K-man. Kaiser's 1-2. Got him looking.
Who get half of draft domestic beers?
It's what had to be done, and the Elks executed. And a big strikeout, too, with runners on second and third and no outs. Infield is back for Bo Rico. He fouls it straight back. That's a big K, considering that Isaiah Hearn at the beginning of that at-bat was considering bunting two guys over to set up an at-bat for Jace Nagler. To get him to punch out is huge. That's the third K of the night for Kaiser. 0-1 to Rico. Popped foul and out of play. 0-2 now. Rico rolled over in his first at-bat to the second baseman and Sanders. If he did that again, it'd bring in a run. Lightgib on third. Hearn on second. Got him swinging. Trevor Kaiser was in a spot with runners on second and third and nobody out after the error, and has punched out the last two batters. Nagler looking right at the knees, and then Rico fishing. Great execution on that off speed. Not out of the woodwork, though, with Gavin Poffenroth. Big curveball. That one with 12-6 action. It's called a strike. Poffenroth 0 for 1, the former Cowlitz Black Bear All-Star a year ago. And with these two organizations coming together now in Ridgefield. 0-2. Trevor Kaiser's stuff looking tight. Curveball, slider, fastball, all working. Another one. And the roar coming off the mound for Trevor Kaiser. Punches out the side after being in a spot with 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out. An unbelievable effort for the Elk starter. There's one. There's 2. And how about another? Trevor Kaiser showing out. We're tied at 1. Bottom of the 4th inning. Walker's still working along against Cam Beck. And how about that from Trevor Kaiser? Punching out the side after being in a jam. Just a dog. Like you can almost hear the roof out there on the mound. Tomataka. 1 out. I mean, yeah, not much else to say there. But I will say, I didn't just bark for no reason. So. Now key to Nato. I love summer ball. Fastball misses down and in. Nato grounded out his first AB. And rolls one over again, but this time it's foul. For all of you tuned in on Bend Elks YouTube, thanks so much for joining us. Now over 1,000 subscribers. See all you viewing here tonight. That's awesome to have my producer Pierce Gordon improve the stream as much as he has, and to have all you guys locked in on the Elks for the full 56-game regular season and hopefully the playoffs. Nato skies one to right center field, and Hearn is there pretty easily for the second out. So if you haven't hit subscribe, hit it. And if you're wondering, Aiden, how do I watch without ads? Well, you now can subscribe. You now can pay to watch no ads with the premium program of our stream. So I encourage all of you to look at that because it'll make all this uninterrupted. Who doesn't want that for baseball? Snakenborg swings through it. 5-4-3, double play in the second. Tyler Walker, after that last inning, has done a good job getting back into his rhythm. has just had one walk. And that walk was the one that bit him in the behind when it came to giving up the first run of the game. 1-1 curveball, called a strike. Nate Snakenborg from the University of Nevada, Reno. So much pure talent when you're just assessing him as a prospect. And although it's been an up and down start to the year for Snake, quite the player. Breaking ball, hit well into left center field. Nobody's there. Down for a hit. Snakenborg hits first, will gallop to second. A stand-up double, and the stanky leg. Runner in scoring position. You got the celly there, Pierce? Dancing on him. Hearn and Poffenroth couldn't get there. Is this new? Is this a team-wide thing? If it means more extra base hits, I'm down. Bringing up Will Goodman. Fouled away. Chance for the Elks to take the lead with some two-out thunder. Goodman skies it foul and out of play. Walked his first time and making plays defensively like he always does. The Bend, Oregon product that goes to Pepperdine. There's always that one player that is just a joy to watch defensively. You can tell they put in the work, the extra hours that it takes to be so smooth and fluid on that side of the ball. And Will Goodman is one of those guys. Grounds that to the first baseman in Summers. And that'll end the inning. The two-out double for Nate Snakenborg is not enough for the Elks to bring in a run. Hernan Poffenroth could not get there. And then Goodman on a ball that was still hit 88 off the bat. It was just right at JT Summers. We'll go to the fifth here on Bend Elks YouTube. Fifth inning here at Vince Genna Stadium. Christian Estep, the new pitcher, in for Trevor Kaiser, who is really good. He deserves a big pat on the back. Estep's been outstanding for these Elks. So 1.8 ERA, just a one whip. face Carson Luna, the top of this order. That could be the thought from Wes Harper, not wanting the potent Ridgefield Raptor offense to see Kaiser for a third time through. As E-Step's pitch is called a strike. From Rogers State in Oklahoma. From Oklahoma City. Breaking ball misses in. This Raptor offense has really been contained by these Elks. It's been an impressive showing from the pitching staff as E-Step continues to fire in the zone on the 79-mile-per-hour curveball. Luna's reached twice on a single and a walk. There's another. Christian E-Step. His first K against the first batter he faces. Make that 4 straight punch-outs for this Elk staff. Going back to Kaiser, striking out the side last frame. Now it's Ken Tomataka. Called a strike on the outside corner. Only thing that's got E-Step in trouble from time to time has been the base on balls. 5 walks to 5 Ks this season. Curveball. Into left for a hit. It was softly hit, but dunks in for Ken Tomataka. His first hit of the night.
Now batting to Ridgefield. First baseman, number 20, J.T. Summers.
Bringing up J.T. Summers. Grounded. Third baseman and Jones kicks it. It was hit hard at 94, but another Bend Elks error. And that could have been a double play. That's a frustrating one. Summers is always surely going to hit the baseball hard, so fielding his ground balls is by no means the easiest task. Jones just kicked it, though, so it does go down as an error. 2 for the Elks. And Zach Wattis, you now can't pitch around him. The last 2 at-bats, his first of the ball game. The Elks just walked him. Didn't want any part with the best hitter for the Ridgefield Raptors. E-Step is forced to come in. 2-0. Big spot here in the 5th. Ground ball would get the Elks out of this frame. Big swing and a miss, and the elbow guard comes popping off. He's got the big protective piece that is almost the entire arm. That's what guys usually wear when they have broken their forearm in their life. And every piece of it hit the turf. Still a hitter's count for Wattis. He steps 2-1. Called a strike on the outside quarter. It's 2-2. So Christian E-Step getting back in the count against Zach Wattis. Tomataka on second, J.T. Summers on first. E-Step gets him. The off speed down and in. his second K in a huge spot.
Now down to Ridgefield. Designated hitter, number 9. Brock Letgill.
So Brock Letgill, or Lightgib, will dig in and take low. With how the Raptors have started off this frame, their expectations offensively after so much success to start this season. They're still looking to break through. 1-0 grooved at the top of the zone for a strike. Lightgib is 0 for 1 with a walk his last time. Curveball. Misses high. That's around the same location that the 1-0 pitch was called a strikeout. That's why getting some barking from the Bend side. 1 run on both sides, 4 hits on both sides, but the difference has been those 2 errors for the Elks. Lightgib takes, down and away. Just looking for E-step to get back in the strike zone. And also stay on a corner. Ball 4. They're loaded with 2 outs. As although the Elks pitching staff has gotten an abundance of strikeouts tonight, they've also walked a ton. And it's the ever dangerous Isaiah Hearn. Just called a strike. Hearn singled in the 4th inning. It went into right field, but still looking for that big hit. Like he's ringing at the doorbell, waiting to come in. 0-1 fastball. Popped up to Goodman at short. He makes the catch. And Christian E-step, despite the foot traffic, gets out of the inning unscathed. These Elks, in these last 2 games, when the ball has started to bounce their way a little more, it's been the timely situations that has resulted in execution. And right there from E-step, a brilliant job. To the home half of the 5th after this. Bottom of the 5th inning. Still tied at 1-1. Troy Sanders steps in against the lefty and Tyler Walker, who's been quite good tonight, just rolling along quietly. It's Sanders, Jones, and Sasidko due up this frame. 0-1, skips down and in for a ball. I mean, what Walker has really done tonight has not been flashy, just 2 Ks, 1 walk. But pitch to contact, and sometimes that's all it takes. Good defense behind him here in Ridgefield. Sanders takes up and away. Tyler Walker from Burlington, Washington. 3-1 to Sanders. Currently uncommitted for next season. But after entering this outing with a 7.2 ERA, he's really calmed things down. Sanders fouls it. Singled his last time through, which was ultimately his first at-bat because the Elks offense has been pretty stagnant tonight. Despite being tied, it's been a pitcher's duel on both sides. Sanders, one of the few Elks to have a knock. And he'll crush that one deep to left field, giving Chase's Poffenroth all the way to the wall. Sayonara. Troy Sanders, his first of the summer. And the Elks take the lead 2-1. He is seeing a beach ball right now. That one 105 off the bat. The definition of backspinning a ball. And I still didn't see it land. I didn't see it land in real time, didn't see it land there. Jones fouls it back. Sanders has been pressing, looking to turn things around, and tonight has been his night. How about that? Hitting line drives all over the field. That was right after we were talking about Troy Sanders and how he was feeling it, but also how Tyler Walker was in cruise control. And right on cue, the Elks get right back on track as Jones taps it off the foot. Although Braden Jones punched out his first time. Starting to see it a little better, it seems. Flips that. Foul down the left field line. If you believe it, that Troy Sanders homer is the first here at Genna since Aiden Tallarico on Saturday night in the opening weekend. The first for the Bend Elks, of course. Jones, softly, weird kick off the mound. Nagler has to field it on the run and got him. But hitting home runs has not been a big thing for these Elks this season, those extra base hits in general. Now bringing up Dmitry Sasidko. Take a ball low, pull it back. But if the Elks can get that bop again in this order and start to hit for more power, that's the turning point. Soft ground ball to Luna at short, who handles it, throws to first for the second out. Tyler Walker immediately getting right back in the strike zone. Mason Elrod with 2 gone. Elrod made that error a couple of frames ago, so maybe a sour taste in his mouth with this at-bat coming up. Mason is 1 for 2. A single in the third that was a slow tapper right back up the middle, and Luna had no play. It's that well. Deep to left center field. Hearn and Poffenroth are coming over, and Poffenroth makes the catch. 95 off the bat for Mason Elrod, but died down as soon as it got near the track. Well, let's take a peek back at that homer. Troy Sanders gives it a ride deep to left field on a ball that won't be coming back. Tattooed from Sanders. Another look at it. All Poffenroth could do was give it a courtesy jog. 2-1 Elks to the 6th on Bend Elks YouTube. Christian Estep, another inning of work. First inning through 19 pitches, but this time with a lead. Elks on top 2-1, and he'll face Jace Nagler. Take away. Nagler was tonight's K-man, and it came true. I'm on a 2-game streak, not counting my chickens, but looking to keep the hot hand rolling. Check swing, called a strike on location. Nagler, Rico, and Poffenroth, 7, 8, and 9, bottom of this Ridgefield Raptors order. Christian Estep, soft-spoken as they come. A lot of these Elks are like that, go about their business with little expression. But great getting to know him, a really kind heart as well. That misses low to Nagler. Jace is 1 for 2 with that punch out we mentioned. Wind starting to pick up in left center. As Nagler hits it that way. Shallow to Keaton Nadeau. 1 out. Having Keaton Nadeau in center field is so reliable. Every play that's hit out there feels like it's going to be made. And Nadeau makes it look easy again. Now Bo Rico. Estep misses with the curveball up. Fastball fouled off the foot of Rico. From Fresno State, and tore his rotator cuff 2 weeks before the season in 2026. That's an awful injury for a baseball player. So didn't play at all, and that's a big part of this summer. I'm gonna show all the people in Fresno, the Bulldogs in general, that he still got it. Was at Fresno City Community College, just like Nobel Ortega, Keith and Vaquera. That's how he got put on the scene to go to the Bulldogs. 2-2 now. Those years at Fresno City CC, he was outstanding. 336 average over 2 seasons where he popped 21 doubles. Step misses away, full count. Not home on the payoff. In tight, it hit him. Just down and in and got him on the foot. Ouch. That's not where that protective piece is. Nine-hole batter, Gavin Poffenroth. Misses low, kicks away from Snake, but not far enough for Bo Rico. Will stay put at first. As a catcher, as expected, you're not going to see Rico run a ton, just one stolen base. Poffenroth is 0 for 2. Grounded. Could be 2. Goodman to his left. Flip to second. A high flip. Throw to first. Not in time. But Goodman did all that he could, and it was a great play again. I mean, what else is there to say? For Will Goodman, that was not supposed to look as easy as it was. Step bounded one to Goodman. Flip and catch. Poffenroth with too much speed on the back. Bringing up Carson Luna with 2 outs in the 6th. Nobody loose in the Bend Elks bullpen, it looks like. This is Christian Estep's spot. Jared Robles will also be available tonight, the reliever in the transfer portal from Cal State LA. 2-0. See Robles there, far right of the bench. Taking a seat. 3-0, because maybe there was somebody at least walking around. That looks like Jackson Ashley talking with Jackson Kendall. Jackson squared. Step gets the call down and away. 3-1. Now Jackson Kendall on the walkie-talkie. He's playing bullpen coach tonight. As Luna pops up the 3-1. Sky high to right. Mason Elrod is there, and that will end the inning. Despite the 1-out hit by pitch for Christian Estep, he pitches through it. And another 0 for this Bend Elks staff. Welcome back to Vince Genna Stadium. Thanks so much for joining us on this Wednesday night in June. And I know you heard me mention this earlier, but the members-only stream, an opportunity to pay money to watch these Elks games with no ads. There should be a join button right under your video. Just saw a couple of people just clicked it. You click on that, it takes you to another page, and then once you pay the subscription, it lasts you for the full year, and you get to watch ad-free Bend Elks baseball. Then there's a separate stream without ads that you'll click on, and it's a pretty cool opportunity, so I encourage all of you to check it out. As Noble Ortega takes a strike on the outside corner. Elks still on top, 2-1. Ortega, Beck, and Nato this frame against the new pitcher, Jake Lenberger. It was all Tyler Walker, the southpaw, before that. But Lenberger's been good in just 5 innings, a 1.8 ERA and a 1 whip. Ortega out in front. To sound like a broken record again, you get to the late stages of these baseball games, and the Elks last night blew the brakes off of Ridgefield from the jump. That's why there was no stress when it came to the last couple of frames. But you want some insurance runs to feel good. This is a good spot to start with Ortega, the 3-hole batter. Noble is 0 for 2. Fastball popped up, foul and out of play. Another big fella on the mound, Jake Lenberger. 6'5", 214 pounds from Meade, Washington. Goes to Eastern Oregon. 2-2. And Ortega's down on strikes. An 81-mile-per-hour breaking ball that got Ortega, bringing up Cam Beck. Cam Beck with 1 gone. We'll pop it up. Shallow left field. Luna calling everybody off. Trails into the infield and makes the catch. Quick 2 outs. There's been a couple of these frames tonight where the Ridgefield Raptors haven't had to work too hard on the mound. And this being one of them. Eden Nato will bat. 0 for 2. Flew out his last time. We're playing that steady center field. Called a strike. Lenberger in 2026 for Eastern Oregon. 12 appearances on the mound. Was 2-0 with a 5.73 ERA and punched out 23 batters. But has hit a new level so far in Ridgefield. 1-1. Competed in the baseball and basketball competitions at Mount Spokane High School. Nato takes away. 2-1. Or on Keaton Nato, I mean, after that catch he made at Yakima, although he's always been a steady defensive center fielder, that was the real eye-opener when it comes to this guy might just be a bit different. Nato from Cal State San Bernardino, playing under his father Mike there. And an awesome full circle story through the collegiate ranks. Fouls back to 3-1. We'll do it again. That time of night where the sun is starting to poke through the clouds in left center. And a great crowd on hand tonight that's been lively from the jump. Nato walks, ball 4. And speed on the bases for the Elks.
Now batting for the Elks, pitcher number 44, Snakenborg.
Nate Snakenborg, who doubled his last time through. Might think about sending the speedy Nato here. Snakenborg's well out in front of the first pitch he sees. One and one to Snake. Clubbed that ball in between Hearn and Poffenroth in the outfield. Neither could get there. And once his bat hits full stride, it will be dangerous as Nato goes, but Snakenborg pops it up foul and out of play. There were a couple of bouts last year between these two foes that felt similar to this when it comes to pitchers' duels that come down to the wire. 1-2. Wondering where that missed. That's a tough break for the Raptors. Rico framed it in, but it was called up. And a break for the Elks. Another chance for Snake. Still a good time for Nato to run. 2-2 with 2 outs. Grounded softly to Luna at short. Will go to first, and the stretch by Summers completes the play. Just the 2-out walk for the Elks in the 6th, nothing more. It's 2-1 Bend. To the 7th, and the new pitcher into the ballgame is the southpaw, Jackson Ashley. See the sun beaming off of the gold 48. And this is as bright as I've seen it this season at this time of the night. I mean, direct sunlight right into the eye of the batter. Look at that. Get your shades out. The sunglasses and the dusk at 8:30 p.m. Jackson Ashley has been arguably the Elks' best reliever. The Gonzaga commit a 0 ERA, as we mentioned, in just 2 2/3, and he hasn't walked anybody with his funky arm slot from the left side. Long time between third base coach and Ken Tomataka, an offensive timeout. This is a big spot in this game. We've kind of been cruising along where the Elks have felt in control, but then you look up at the scoreboard and it's only 2-1. It's been one of those games. This absolutely has something to do with trying to wait out the sun and get a different angle. Because this is tough right now. Tomataka 1 for 3. Ashley from the first base side, and that crafty delivery misses up at 85. One ball and one strike. Jackson Ashley, 6'4", 220 from Oregon City, Oregon. 9th best in the state and 3rd best at his position of pitcher. As Tomataka, his life so difficult right now behind home plate, just beyond. Same with Ashley's. Hard to see, but he flips that one into right center field. Mason Elrod with a good route and a good catch.
Now batting for Ridgefield, first baseman, number 20, JT Summers.
JT Summers, 0 for 3, reached on an error his last time. Good start for Ashley's outing. As Summers hits that decently well to left center field, but Keaton Nadeau's there and circles underneath it for the second out. That one was loud. Feels like everything off the bat of JT Summers is.
Now batting for the Raptors, right fielder, number 23, Genna.
So quick 2 outs. Now you get the left on left against Zach Wattis. Grounds it foul. Still turning Wattis orange with the sunlight. It is already impossible against Jackson Ashley with how crafty he is to hit him. And then as a left-handed bat, the sun is directly in your eyes. At least Tomataka and Summers on the right side weren't affected as much. He is truly squinting to even see anything. Ashley looking for a clean frame. And his first out of the pen. Just pitch number 8 here. And it's off the plate. Gonzaga's got to be excited because Jackson Ashley's got all the stuff in the world and is still so young. The fastball in the high 80s now will only tick up. That missed away. Elks have done a good job against Zach Wattis tonight, who is as prolific as anybody in the West Coast League. And a lot of it has been by not giving him anything to hit. There he gets something and scorches it to left field. It's down for a hit. Wattis hits first to race to second on a stand-up 2-out double. And the Raptors have the tying run in scoring position. An impressive piece of hitting for Wattis, who just went the other way with that. He couldn't hold him down forever, I guess. Brock Lightgib, the hitter. Even see there, right-handed batter not nearly as affected. Much more dim on the face of Brock, who will take a strike at the top of the zone. Lightgib has also walked twice, despite these free passes. Elks pitchers have been masterful with escaping jams. 0-2. Blew it by Lightgib. This will get the crowd into it. Everybody sticking around tonight. Game 2 of 3 between the Raptors and Elks. Just away. They're getting into it. Look at Carson. The best field announcer in the league. Getting the claps going. Popped up, fouling out of play. That could be a car. I know that a couple of games ago, was that an actual siren I heard? Alarm? No. But last game, one of the Elks players did get one right on the windshield. 1-2. Out of the way, Brock Lightgib keeps fighting. Runner on second is Zach Wattis. Big spot for both groups. Ashley fires and got him. Jackson Ashley blows 85 right by Brock Lightgib to end the 7th. Good old country hardball right by him, and Lightgib couldn't catch up. Stretch time here at Genna. Elks on top, 2-1.
Stretch, go ahead and stand to your feet with me, and we're going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Out to the ball game. Let me hear ya! The old ball game. Hey, let's get some.
Bo Goodman to start off the bottom of the 7th inning. Still Lenberger working for the Raptors. 7, 8, 9. Ben looking to add on a much-needed insurance run in this pitcher's duel. Goodman grounds it to the glove side of Tomataka, going to a slide. His throw to first in time. A good play by the Raptors' third baseman. Now Troy Sanders, who's the reason the Elks are on top at this moment. A home run in his last at-bat, and one of the loudest we've seen this season. The first we've seen in almost a month here at Genna for the Elks. He got every stitch of it. Backspun it deep to left field. That was in the 5th inning. Take a strike there at the bottom of the zone. You know what it could be? Lifting the whole idea of where am I committing off your back. Now committed to Bethune-Cookman, knows he has a home, and is thriving. 1-1, another base hit. Troy Sanders is dominating. He hits first and heads to second. Poffenroth picks it up. His throw to second's offline. Troy Sanders, 3 legs of the cycle tonight. He's had 3 at-bats, a single, a home run, and a double. One out for Braden Jones. Take up. You know you're starting to feel it when you're Sanders, and you just flip one down the left field line. It stays fair over Tomataka. That was only 75 off the bat. His first 2 hits, 104 and 105. Quick time between Rico and the pitcher and Lenberger. Braden Jones looking to execute with 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning. Elks a slim lead. Fastball away. Another night with the makings of a fabulous sunset. Heavy clouds overhead. Sun setting in the distance, and that's a norm here in Bend, Oregon. Cooled down since first pitch. Now 78 degrees, which makes for a picture-perfect night for baseball. And a big reason why all these fans have stuck around. Bend Elks, just 5-5 at home. We've had some blowout losses, but after last night, some new juice that's carried over into today. Inside move for Lenberger will flip to 2, and Sanders is back with the dive. Engler slightly playing Jones to pull. Sanders with above average speed will easily score on a base hit. Hitters count 2-1. This is high. After Jones, it's Sasidko, the top of the order on deck. Groove down the middle for a strike. Jones kept it on his shoulders. Offensively for Jonesy. Needing a big hit. As the payoff comes home. Jones taps it. Tough play for Summers. Has to hurry. Throw to first. In time, but I don't know. From our angle, it looked like Lenberger didn't find the base. Alan Cox, I think, is going to go ask. I am not sure that Lenberger ever touched first to get the runner in Jones. And now Perry Schofield and Derek Dunbar will come together. This should tell us he's safe. He didn't touch the base. Oh, that's a tough break. The difference between runners on the corners and 1 out and a runner on third with 2 outs. So 3-1 on the putout. Needed Dmitry Sasidko, 2-out hit now. Take outside. Let's get one more look at it. When Lenberger came to the base, he misses it there. Safe. Saw yesterday when these two, Perry Schofield and Derek Dunbar, were flipped. They overturned a call that was Dunbar's on the bases. So when they came together there, couldn't rule out that possibility again. There's Sasidko well ahead, 3-0. An 0 for 3 night for the league leader in batting average. But does have a run batted in. Just 2 runs scored for the Elks tonight. As Sasidko walks. A 4-pitch walk with 2 outs. We'll give Mason Elrod a shot. All right, official attendance came in. I want Pierce to verify this. I said 12:30 something, right? 12:31. It was 12:54. I might have got myself a hat if I put my name in the ring. If you get the attendance right here, that's the prize. Elrod down for a base hit. 1 run will score. Moving to thirds, Dmitry Sasidko. And a huge insurance run for Mason Elrod. Gives the Elks a 3-1 lead. What we know Mason Elrod is capable of is finally showing. That wrist is healthy and timed it up perfectly. Exploded off that back foot and lining it up the middle to bring in Sanders. His time is now called, and Ridgefield is going to go to the bullpen. Lenberger, an inning and a third, 1K. Those 2 walks hurt him, though, and got him in some jams. The big hit was Troy Sanders's, the 1-out double, and then Mason Elrod comes through with the run batted in. The Elks looking for more with 2 outs when we come back on Bend Elks YouTube after this. New pitcher into the ball game for the Raptors. It's the lefty, Caden Thompson, who has been outstanding for Ridgefield, but enters in a really tough spot. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And limiting the damage here would go a long way in potentially the Bend Elks and the Raptors being in a duel down to the wire. 10 2/3, 6 Ks, 4 walks for Thompson. And he's coming in to face the lefty, Noble Ortega. Noble swung out of his shoes on a fastball up and in. Mason Elrod with the big hit was lifted by Eli Pupo, who's now running at first. Pupo's going to go on the delayed steal and was thinking about getting in a rundown, but Rico didn't throw it. So he walks down there. Now 2 runners in scoring position. So now a base hit would really do wonders. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. That one looked close. As always with the 2-man crew, tough to overrule it on the bases. Noble didn't go. Good job by Perry Schofield. Take away 2-2. Under this cotton candy sky, Elks looking for the series win. It has been gorgeous as the night has rolled on. Just take a look at that. Ortega pops one up, foul and out of play. We'll do it again. 0 for 3 tonight, but a knack a little bit for the big hit, the big spot. Ortega had an RBI double in the 5th inning of last night's game and 3 total hits. Take away 3-2. And you know that Thompson came in to get the lefty. So yes, you have the open base, but if you walk him, that defeats the purpose. Both working quickly. And Ortega not obliging with another foul ball.
All right, Elks fans, 2 on, 2 out. Let's make some noise for these Elks.
Payoff. Got him. As the check swing, Dunbar probably didn't even need an appeal, but Schofield says yes, and that will end the frame. Mason Elrod, though, with the big swing in the 7th. A single, right back where it came from. And you're looking for insurance runs late. There you go. As good as it gets. To the 8th after the insurance run by Mason Elrod. Elks on top 3-1, and they'll stick with their trusty lefty, Jackson Ashley, as Isaiah Hearn rips a foul ball down the right field line. This Elks pitching deserves a massive round of applause, starting with Trevor Kaiser, going to Christian Eastep, and then Jackson Ashley. It's been a unit that's frankly struggled in 2026. Here in the Raptors series has looked a lot different. Quickly 0-2. The highly touted Hearn, 1 for 3 tonight. Fouled off of Snakenborg's glove. Elks in their all black pinstripes. Love that combo. And I'll tell you what, the all black versus the dark gray hasn't been as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be. Hearn grounds that to Sanders. 1 out. And a big credit to that man right there, Wes Harper, as Alan Cox is, I think, going to go get Jackson Ashley. This is all matchups. Ashley absolutely did his job, and we'll get a round of applause from Alan Cox. But Wes Harper has rallied this pitching staff, rallied the troops, and you hope that that success continues. Ashley will exit. Robles will enter when we come back on Bend Elks YouTube in this 3-1 game. There's Jared Robles as Alan Cox and crew asking for a 5-out save. 5.91 ERA, a 1.88 whip. He's 2-0. But the stuff is absolutely lights out, and when Robles puts it together, not many better. Fastball in the low 90s. He'll face Nagler and fire in a perfect slider for a strike. Robles 1 for 3. Made all the beer lovers in the crowd happy on his beer K. And down 0-2 again. He got him on 3 pitches. Takes care of Jace Nagler. There's 2 outs. Nine Ks as a staff for the Elks tonight. Very encouraging sign. Getting a whole lot of swing and miss. And with 2 outs in the 8th, it's Bo Rico. Oh for 2 with the hit by pitch. That came in his last AB. 1-0. Shot back up the middle. Really tough play from Goodman. That's an infield single. If Will Goodman can't make the play, generally it's unmakeable. But it does roll this inning on for Gavin Poffenroth, representing the tying run for the Raptors. Pitch misses low. I mean, that's what makes that extra run for Mason Elrod on that RBI single for insurance so huge. Gives the Elks more breathing room. 1-0's called a strike. Robles just 5'10", 195-pounder in the transfer portal coming from Cal State LA. But he's got thunder with that velo. Filthy. 1-2. It's bring your guitar to the yard night, but you don't play it. You just scroll your phone instead. Another! Jared Robles, this entire pitching staff, take a bow so far. The 2 outs he gets in the 8th, both via the K. It was Nagler swinging, and then Gavin Poffenroth looking. Paint on the corner. To the bottom of the 8th, it's the Elks by 2 on the Bend Elks YouTube page. Bottom of the 8th inning, Caden Thompson, his 2nd inning of work after an 8-pitch 7th inning. Go back out there. He just had to get 1 out, though, as he came in for the lefty. And his first pitch to Beck will miss up and away. Beck, Nato, Snakenborg came back 1 for 3 tonight. You don't want to get greedy, but with the 3-1 lead in the 8th inning, 1 run would do a lot. Jared Robles will absolutely come back out for the 9th inning. After doing his thing. Just carrying over what this Elks pitching staff has done. If you put these 2 games, these last 2 under a microscope, you would think this pitching staff is flat out elite. Last night, 5 pitchers threw and only 2 runs were given up. Popped up in foul territory. Tomataka and Luna. Tomataka catches it. He could not see that ball for the majority of its trajectory down. And then at the last second, able to make the grab.
For the Elks, center fielder,
He had to go all the way down to one knee and then catch it on the high backhander. Now Keaton Nadeau. Take a strike. But Caden Thompson has been as advertised. Those numbers obviously jumping off the page, but until you see somebody go to work, you never really have a gauge. We now know exactly what we're going to get out of Thompson. Keaton Nadeau is 0 for 2 with the walk in his last time up. 2-2. Nadeau rocking the neon green leg piece. Stands out. Grounded. Summers. Can he cover in time? He can't. Keaton Nadeau racing down the line. Yes, it was a late cover from Thompson, but look at how fast Keaton Nadeau is moving.
now batting for the
Even if Caden Thompson catches that, he is not getting to that base in time.
board.
Give Snakenborg a shot. Take up and away on a ball. It's amazing how it works. Elks on top and a lot of these fans sticking around. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. Thompson. One and two. Nate Snakenborg, a double back in the fourth. 1 for 3 on the night. Could be a spot where Nadeau decides to try and go. As Thompson steps off again. Nadeau, the team leader in stolen bases. Elks don't have a bag tonight. Now 2-2. Popped up foul and out of play. Looking back to that fourth, this was the Snake double. Extra base hits for these Elks. Just a couple so far tonight. 3 to be exact. That was one of the first real signs of life offensively. The Snake takes down and in. It hits off of Dunbar's. The catcher Enrico can't grab it. His throw down to second's not in time. Luna can't grab it on one hop, and Dunbar is in a whole lot of pain. Oh, no. This is not good. Dunbar is walking all the way up the first baseline. In a considerable amount of pain, I think. Oh, no. Oh, no. That likely broke something in his left hand. A direct hit. Rico didn't even touch any part of it, the catcher. He'll shake it off and keep walking. I mean, that was 87 directly off the hand. You see the indicator in his left hand just fell out when the ball hit. He appears to be all right. All right, so we're ready to go again. Happy to see Derek Dunbar. All good. Full count. Ball 4.
Now batting for the Elks, shortstop number 4, Will Goodman.
And Will Goodman, the hitter. Goodman, no hits tonight, but reached on a walk. Big swing and a miss. Dunbar still shaking out that left hand. That one's going to sting for quite some time. He'll be happy to be on the bases tomorrow, I'm sure. It's Goodman. Flips one into right, but it's caught by Wattis coming in on the run. 2 outs here in the 8th.
Now batting for the Elks, Edison number 29, Troy Sanders.
Throw to second. Nato is leaning. A filthy move from Thompson, but he's back. From the left side, that inside move is a good one. Troy Sanders, the batter up. Homered in the 5th inning. Doubled in the 7th, and he singled back in the 1st. A triple away from the cycle. I don't know the stat on that. How many Bend Elks have gotten a cycle in their time at Genna? Sanders won't get one tonight. Grounds it to Luna. He goes to 3rd on the force out. And that will end the inning. That was a weird one. Call it a 6-5 putout to end the frame. Ridgefield needs 2 to keep this game going. Bend Elks looking to slam the door, and it's Jared Robles back out there again when we come back. The 9th inning is upon us here at Vince Genna Stadium on a Wednesday night. Elks on top 3-1 and looking to slam the door. Jared Robles back out there for another inning of work. And if you are an ad-free Elks Streams member, make sure you are watching on the separate members-only stream, not the public stream. It is the same live game broadcast, just on a separate YouTube stream with ads turned off. And to watch ad-free, go to the Bend Elks YouTube channel, find tonight's stream labeled Members Only Ad-Free Stream, and open that stream. If you're not a member yet, hit the join button on the Bend Elks YouTube channel. Choose ad-free. free Elk stream to support the broadcast. Watch without YouTube ads. Have a whole lot of fun. Robles fires in the 2-0. Hit to deep center. Nato with a good jump and makes the catch. One out for Ken Tomataka. Getting that first out in a 2-run game in the 9th. Ultra critical. Wait for Robles to settle in. First pitch slider called a strike. Robles looking as sharp as he has at any point this season. And the Elks need it too. Fastball runs in tight. Tomataka was almost plunked. Tomataka, the UC San Diego commit. It's been good for these Raptors in the 2-hole. Chops it foul. Chased a pitch down and in with wicked movement. And Robles ahead again. The Elks emptying the clip with some of their best arms and a chance to win an ultra-important series here at home. Grounded to Jones. Moving to his left. Throw to first is on the money. And the Elks are 1 out away. With that, we'll take one final look around the West Coast League. 8-1 Nanaimo on top. Bottom 9. 7-0 Kamloops bouncing back. 1-1. Corvallis tied in a non-league. I wonder who that's against. Wenatchee beating Yakima. Bellingham over Kelowna. Sweets and Berries in the lead. JT Summers. The final chance tonight for the Ridgefield Raptors. Bend had Ridgefield's number when it comes to last season. It's a different animal this year, though. To be this close feels good, but you gotta get over the hump. Elks last year were 4-2 against the Raptors, starting off the 2025 season with a series dub at home. Those series wins have been few and far between. Summers reached on an error, but as we said, over. Robles lost him on 4 pitches with 2 outs. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Zach Wattis. This is not the guy you want up at this point in the game. If you're the Elks, 2 walks, a double, ever dangerous. And ultra important for Robles to stay on a corner. Big shift to the pull side. Fastball misses in tight. 5 straight balls for Robles. Summers likely not going anywhere. Over there at first. Wattis fouls it away. That one could have been crushed. Caught a lot of plate, and you know the hitter that Zach Wattis is. Especially after his double last time through that was down the left field line on a similar pitch. Heavy skies overhead. Robles peers in. 1-2. Blows the fastball by Zach Wattis. And Ridgefield's down to their final out. Final strike. Knocking on the door. 2-2. See the finish line, but just have to cross it. Long look in for Robles. It's 2-2 with 2 outs. There it is. Freezes Zach Wattis on a fastball on the outside corner. And the Bend Elks win the series at home against the best team in the West Coast League.
After 9, your final score, Ridgefield 1, Elks win.
3-1 the final. And another light show on another lovely night at Genna. How about that effort from start to finish for this pitching staff? You only can hope that a corner is being turned, and you see as Alan Cox is walking, looking to the fans, clapping. You can tell it means so much to him. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. What a win for the Bend Elks. 3-1 the final. I'm Aidan O'Neill. Thanks for joining us tonight. Man, where do you begin with this? I think you have to start with the pitching staff, but the overarching theme is that the Elks won a series, and they won a series against the Ridgefield Raptors team that looked virtually unbeatable just a couple of days ago before they got here in Bend, Oregon. And something has clicked for the Elks. I'm not sure what it was. You thought that after the Elks won 2 out of 3 at Yakima, there it is. But then they come home, they get swept by Kelowna. Then you take on the Ridgefield Raptors, and it might look a little grim because of how dominant they've been offensively and how the Elks pitching staff has struggled. Elks pitching staff, worst whip in the league, worst ERA. But if you just put these 2 games under a microscope and you looked at it real closely, you would see a pitching staff that rivals anybody in the West Coast League. Was it the arms the Elks threw out? Maybe. Was it the resilience that kind of came out of nowhere? Also maybe true. But just 1 run allowed tonight against the best offense in the West Coast League after just 2 a night ago. It started with Trevor Kaiser, who was absolutely incredible on the bump. And he was getting it going. This is coming off of a start against Yakima, where he was absolutely rocked. He gave up 9 earned runs. You wouldn't be able to tell today at all. And you turn it to Christian Estep, who's been one of the more reliable relievers for the Elks. Then Jackson Ashley. And then Jared Robles came in mid-inning for Ashley in the 8th, when you might have questioned the decision-making for a second because Ashley was rolling along. But all you can do instead is tip your cap to Wes Harper, because what Robles featured as soon as he entered against Nagler and then Luna, doors, paint, every pitch, working down to a T. And if this pitching staff can replicate any ounce of what they did these last 2 games for the rest of the season, the Elks are going to be all right. 3-1 the final. Elks get it done. Your final lines, 8 hits for the Elks, 6 for the Raptors. And although 2 errors for the Elks, they pitched through it. They pitched through those free passes, something we haven't seen before. You got to build off of it, but you get a huge series win here at home. Series finale tomorrow at 6:35. But until then, for my lovely producer, Pierce Gordon, I'm Aidan O'Neill signing off. We'll see you then as the Elks get back on track.